Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Akim out there laboring of the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much, this is a video right here where Vocab pretty much got his hands on the encounter with Tucker Carlson pretty much about 10 years ago. And this is a video that it's been circling the internet for quite some time, and pretty much he wants to pretty much deceive his congregation once again, and pretty much the apostle is pretty much speaking to him, and they're going into the revelation of Yahweh Shai, which pretty much was the opening precept that he brought out. But we're gonna, as we go on to this video, as I play it, it's gonna start going into the Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Now, the thing I want to say about Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and this is what a lot of these Christians are now doing, especially vocab. They're trying to make it to where we're making Deuteronomy 28:68 a doctrine, so to speak. Like this is just something that was just said, and it's like a pretty much, a fly-by-night scripture that we're just pulling out of nowhere and pretty much applying it to our teachings. Now, when you got to remember, okay, the whole entire book of Deuteronomy, not just the 28th chapter, when you start at the first verse in Deuteronomy, okay, this is where the Lord was pretty much having the sermon, okay, through Moses to the children of Israel, all right? Now, this is the time that we were in the wilderness. Now, when you talk about us going through the wilderness back then, it should have only took us about 11 days to go through the wilderness. But in fact, it took us 40 years. You see? And things kept on being reiterated, all right? Throughout the books when we were in the wilderness. When you want to talk about starting at Mount Horeb, even all the way back to the plains of Moab. You see, okay, when we were given the land of milk and honey, but first we had to go through different phases of what the Lord was bringing unto us. The sermon, or pretty much the counsel. We were given the law. You see, and pretty much this is all going into what the covenant that the Lord has made with the children of Israel. You see? Okay, so it's not no fly-by-night statement to where we're just hanging on to that one particular curse, and they want to harp on that, and they try to they try to find a loophole somewhere to where, it doesn't mean this. You see? This was a very historic event that was happening, okay, in the wilderness. You see? All right? And many generations came and passed through, all right, during that time. You see? Okay, because why? It's because the old generation pretty much had died off. Why? It's because they were doing evil still in the eyes of the Lord. And the law kept on being reiterated. You see? All right? And pretty much, the bottom line was, okay, the Lord said to pretty much wants us to choose life or death, or blessings or the curses. That's pretty much when you go down to the end of the book of Deuteronomy. That was what the conclusion was. Okay, but the Lord knew, okay, that we were going to go off. You see, but the covenant was always with the children of Israel. You see, so we're not pretty much making it a doctrine, so to speak. You see, all right. But real quick, before I play this video, let's hit the precept real quick concerning that matter. Because I got to get that out the air, because he's going to go into it, and we're just going to hit him with scriptures, man, okay? Because they think that they were only just harping on just that precept. You see? All right, let's go from here. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30, verse 1, okay? All right, the restoration promised. You see? All right? And it says, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh thy power have driven thee. You see? And this is pretty much, man, we're calling this upon the minds of all the nations. You see? Why? It's because pretty much the Lord said in the last days we were going to wake up, you know? And these are the things that we will pass on from generation to generation. You see? And it says, and shall return unto Yahweh thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. Thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have scattered thee. And if any of thine be driven out into the uttermost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. You see? All right? So pretty much, man, when we turn ourselves back to the Lord, this is what the Lord is promising unto us. You see? But the Lord knew that we would be pretty much we're going to go off, you know? But now we in a time of reckoning. You see? All right? So that whole situation in the wilderness, it wasn't no fly-by-night pretty much scripture that we're just pulling out and just saying, see, this is, how we prove this is who we are. You see? You know, as I play the video, we're going to dig deeper into that. Okay? But pretty much here in the 30th chapter, this is pretty much, towards the end when we were about to go to the plains of Moab, and pretty much search out the land that was with milk and honey from Mount Nebo, where Moses pretty much slept with the Father, so to speak. You see? All right? It says, and Yahweh thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. You see? Now, this is speaking about a future prophecy right here. Okay? Because we didn't enter into that land that we had possessed. Okay? We were about to enter into that land. You see? Okay? Right? When we can go into that, in the book of Joshua. You see? And it says, right? Let me read it again. And Yahweh thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and it will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And it's going to be multiplied above thy fathers for us because the Lord have given us a better covenant, pursuant to Hebrews the 8th chapter. You see? Okay? And it says, and Yahweh thy power will circumcise thy heart and the heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. Last verse. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Now, this is pretty much a future prophecy that is going to happen. Okay? And pretty much, the whole premise too was where Vocab pretty much gets a kick out of this video is where he makes the comment, Tucker makes the comment, why am I going to slavery? You see? And we're going to hit on that. Okay? All right? Because it's prophesied in the scriptures. You see? Now, if you come from the stock of Jacob, because why? This is not a black thing. Like I said, if you come from the stock of Jacob, wherever you may be scattered amongst the heathen, you may look like the other nations, but if your line goes back to the stock of Jacob, you're an Israelite. That's plain and simple. And this is what we teach. Okay? And it goes through the line of your fathers. You see? That's plain and simple. All right? So from there, let's go to, like I said, I may make this 2 videos right here because I want to just get this point across about this whole Deuteronomy 28 chapter and set that record straight. But from there, let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's stay in Deuteronomy chapter 4. Verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither thou goest to possess it. And keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding and the sight of the nations, which shall hear these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Okay, so the Lord has given his laws to a certain people. Okay, all right, and in the near future, time to come, those people, okay, really starting with the governing body, which is the remnant, okay, all right, with Yahweh Shai pretty much, leading the way of us pretty much getting the other nations in order under the law. All right. Doesn't this earth need a new rulership under new management? You see, a lot of people would want to agree with that. You see, you know, okay, people are going to look at us and look at this great nation. You know, they don't see that right now, but the Lord is going to turn back our captivity. Okay, and the scriptures speak about in the book of Ezekiel, okay, that the people, all right, the heathen are going to know the reason why we went into captivity. You see, okay, we went in captivity in the sight of all the nations. Okay, so Deuteronomy the 28:68 chapter, all right, speaking about us going back to Egypt, okay, which is the house of bondage, okay, and pretty much that's what the Lord was referring to, all right, is a well documented, unprecedented event that had happened, okay, all right, it's unprecedented. Even when you speak about the first deliverance out of Egypt, all right, that pretty much is right up there with that, okay, because why? It's because the nations, other nations would know that we went into captivity. Okay, it's well documented. You can go to any foreign nation and they would tell you that we were taken, we were partakers of the transatlantic slave trade. There's not a nation that does not know that had happened. You see, right? It says, um, let's see. Do I want to read on down? Yeah. All right. For it says, right? Because the nations are going to look at us as a great and understanding people, right? And it says, for what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon for him. Okay? All right? You know, and when we do right in the eyes of the Lord, there's nothing that can stop us, man. You see? All right? And for what nation is there so great that his statutes and judgments are so righteous as all his law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before Yahweh thy power in Horeb, and when the Lord said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, and that they may learn and fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, that they may teach their children. You see, and that's the point right there. Okay? So the Lord pretty much made a covenant with the children of Israel. It's not just something to where we just picking something out of our ass and saying, look, Deuteronomy 28:68. It was pretty much a long winded sermon, okay, sermon slash counsel, okay, that was included with the law. It was included with the blessings and curses, and pretty much it all rolls into being part of the covenant that the Lord had made with us, the children of Israel. You see, okay. So now from there, where we're pretty much are given the law, so now let's go to the prophecy of how the nations are pretty much are going to be in order under the law, okay, under the children of Israel, okay. Now when you speak about salvation, okay, all right, pretty much there's no end of the people at the end of the day, okay, except for Edom, and Edom's going to have his day coming, but he'll be there on this go around, you see. But at the end of the day, okay, there's going to be what you want to call a so-called hierarchy, rank and file type of government, so to speak. Okay? You see? With Israel pretty much being on top. And to prove that, let's go to the book of Isaiah. All right? We're going to go start at uh, first verse. All right? God's universal reign. Okay? All right? It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. That's pretty much representing the northern and southern kingdom. That's all 12 tribes. This is what's concerning through the mouth of the prophet Isaiah. Right? It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established at the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to that mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word from Yahweh from Jerusalem. And that's going to be the governing body. We're going to be the governing body. Okay? And all nations are pretty much are going to get in order, man. Okay? You know? And the scriptures even say that even when they don't even observe our holy days, that nation will not receive any rain, man. Okay? So pretty much it's going to be a famine coming upon the nations that don't want to adhere to what the Lord has established and set up. You see? Okay? And it says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. So people are going to be rebuked. Okay? All right? In the kingdom of heaven, man. All right? And these people are going to get in order because this place is a lawless society, man. This whole world, man. Okay, this whole world needs a new order, a new management, so to speak. Okay, you see, you know, all right, all of these, pretty much the dietary law is going to be in full effect. Okay, you know, laws concerning raising the household. Okay, concerning marriage, concerning your wives. Okay, all right, it's going to be order, man. Okay, you see, and it says, right? That we should rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Okay, so this is going to be a nation, a kingdom. Okay, that's going to be flourishing, man. Agriculturally. Okay, all right. You know, it's not going to be no war no more. Okay, so this is a future prophecy that has not happened yet. Okay, people can run around and claim to be of the covenant, but this is they don't feel for prophecy, man. You see, right? And it says, "Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." Okay, you see, and pretty much, man, that's gonna be this is in the kingdom, man. Future prophecy, man. You know, so for you to go ahead and just automatically just disregard Deuteronomy and what happened in in the wilderness, and just try to cherry pick a scripture and try to make it to where that's our doctrine, okay? And then all of a sudden now you want to just jump into the New Testament and not even go through the history and even go to what the prophets are even saying, okay? But we understand because why? It's because of the spirit of prophecy, spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, man. Okay, and vocab thinks he's trying to, going on this commentary, trying to think he's correcting, the apostles, man. You see, okay, this is what happens, man, when you have a minion that's out there, pretty much, trying to be that mask, that veil unto the people, man. Okay, and try to uphold Edomite supremacy, man. Okay, this is the only purpose, the reason why he's out there, man. Okay? You see? Right? And it says, O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of Yahweh. Okay? All right? And we're going to be a nation of kings and priests, man. Okay? All right? What the Peter say, man? We are a royal nation, man, so to speak, man. You see? You know? All right, from there, let's go to let's go to Lamentation real quick. All right? Because this is the situation that we're in now, okay? And the Lord pretty much has uh put judgment upon us, man, for choosing the latter, you know? But what his job is, speaking about vocab alone, is his job is to keep us from waking up, okay? Which is really is going to come to naught on his end, okay? All right. The prophecy that the Lord had put forth of the remnant waking up, the remnant returning, okay, is pretty much going to come to pass. All right. Now this is Lamentations chapter 2 verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thy iniquity. Turn away thy captivity, and they have not. You know, would you want to talk about these passages that are put in place here? Okay, you know, the leaders of the people, okay, Christianity, okay, they have not discovered your iniquity, man, to turn away your captivity. You have to realize what you have done as a nation, okay, all right, what we have done as a nation, man, and to turn back to the Lord and seek him 10 times more, and pretty much the Lord would turn away our captivity, man, okay. This is something that they don't want to happen. Okay? You see? It says, but have seen for the false burdens and causes of banishment. You see? And Jake is burdened like no other, man. But they still continue to follow Christianity, man, which is that plantation Christianity, which pretty much is a colonized religion, so to speak, man. Okay? All right? It was colonized into the people. Okay? This is verse 15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men shall call the perfection of beauty? The joy of the whole earth? Okay, now this is the time that we're in. We're pretty much in this time right now. You see? This has happened, okay, when we pretty much were sacked by the Babylonians, okay? But this is the situation that Jerusalem, okay, Judah and Israel are pretty much in right now. Okay? People are hissing and wagging their head. Okay? Look at the state of the people, man. Okay? Look at the state of the people that you see, all right, of the tribes, man. Okay? But that's what Christianity does to them. Okay? Okay? That's under the watch of Christianity, the state of our people today, man. Okay? You see? All right, we're coming with the new song, man. You know, but hey, only the remnant are going to be able to dance to it, man. Okay? It says, all thy enemies have opened up their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have seen it. And pretty much, man, this is going into that covenant, man, that they had made, you know, pursuant to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, man. Okay? These nations. All right? And pretty much, you know, you got you know, a ruler, okay, of a powerful nation that pretty much is spilled the beans, man, on who the true saints are, man. You know, and that's pretty much what vocab was going into that video, okay. And I may just play it on my other video, on another video, but because I want to hit some points on it. But even to just set up the fact that Deuteronomy 28 is not no doctrine, man. You see? Okay? That was a major event. And we were just speaking upon that last prophecy that the Lord said that would happen to his people, man. Okay? You see? So it says, verse 17, Yahweh have done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word, and he had commanded in the days of old. He had thrown down, and he had not pitied, and he have caused the enemy to rejoice over thee, and he had set up the horn of thy adversaries, man. And the horn of thy adversaries are pretty much set up, man. You know, the horn just pretty much means the strength of the adversaries. You see, the Lord made good on his promise, man. Of what? Every time that we went off, okay, all right, we go into slavery. He puts us in some type of captivity, man. This is the ongoing story, okay? You see? But when you get blinded by this book that's only belonging to 8 people, and it turns around to be universalized, this is where the confusion comes in, okay? And then you still got people like vocab lingering around, okay? Just like it reminds me of that precept. When somebody's like ready to hear the word, then here comes Satan, you know. But he's always in the midst, okay? So whoever the blind lead the blind, they're both gonna fall into the ditch. You see, all right. But the Lord has set up the horn of his adversaries, man. What? To rule over his people. All right? Right? but that's the point I want to make right there. You know? All right? Let's see. Yeah, but that's pretty much it right there. You know? But just wanted to get into that Deuteronomy and I didn't even there's a reason why I didn't read it, but let me grab it real quick. All right? I pretty much was going to get more deeper into that in another video, but pretty much 28. You're going to have to go through it again, man. Okay, all right. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way where I have spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And when you go into that word buy, okay, because there's no way that let's go back right here, because there's no way that we're going to be able, this they say that we sell ourselves. It says that we shall be sold to our enemies. You can't get around we shall be selling yourselves and nobody's going to buy you. This is every little thing. This guy's like pretty much grasping for straws, man. you know you know every little thing. And if our people, if you can't see it, then that's what it is. You can't see it, man. You know, we're not gonna sit here and twist arms here, man. This ain't for you, okay? It clearly says you're gonna be sold, okay? But when you go into that buy, okay?
Strong's H 7069. Kana.
And it says, of the Most High originating, creating, redeeming his people. Okay? All right? Because why? It's because the Lord pretty much caused that scenario to happen, man. Hence the transatlantic slave trade, man. Okay? All right? He came up with that. He pretty much came up with that whole judgment. Okay? And he created the scenario for it to go down. Okay? An unprecedented event in history that no nation can deny. Okay? That's pretty much up there with really the flood. All these other nations have their original recollection of the so-called flood. Okay? Even the devil himself, which he refers to it as the Ice Age. You see? Okay? All right? But the Lord said, man, when he says buy, it's meaning to, right? Redeem. Okay? Redeem his people. We're going to be sold. It says we're going to be sold. Okay? All right? They want to go into these other translations and it says, sell yourselves. So if we sold ourselves and no man should buy us, what account was that? Book, chapter, verse for that then? What book, chapter, verse was that? Because all we know when you go into the scriptures, the history of the children of Israel were going into captivity. Okay? Captivity after captivity. Okay? You see? All right? So pretty much, that's the point I want to make right there. Okay? All right? Originating. So we get that. Originate. Have specified beginning. Yeah. The Lord said that how it was going to pretty much go down. The Lord pretty much said how it was going to go down. You see? Okay? All right, the Lord pretty much created the scenario for that to happen, man. Okay, so we're not gonna just sit there and just let it fly over the head and make it not making it a doctrine, though. You know, because why? It's because why? All the other curses apply too. Okay, a lot of other curses they apply to the some may apply to Judah, some apply to both tribes, some apply to the northern kingdom. You see, okay, and you still can't get around the yoke upon thy neck, because even when you look up yoke of iron, okay, it's going to show you an Israelite in the yoke of iron, man. Can't get around that, okay. And just the premise, the fact is that, and even when you want to talk about that, man, you know, it's a whole bunch of things that we can get into, man, because it's like I said, you Christians, you just can't get over pretty much 101. So this is why, you know, the apostle pretty much was going into it real quick with Tucker Carlson, okay, all right, what the Lord looked like and everything else. Because why? It's because the lies were sweeping away the reverential lies, man. You see, okay, all right. So pretty much, man, that word that buy is referring to redeem, okay. You see, to put that straight, man, okay. No man was going to be able to get us out of that situation, okay, all right. And pretty much, man, we at the pretty much we're in this man's hands, man. Okay, and what's that in the law? Okay, if you steal it a man, if we've been found in his hands, just on that premise right there, you're guilty of that, man. You know. All right, so you know, I want to end it there. You know, and I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Wakakodash, Shalom.